There we go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a good day. Loki says hello, and I threw this away already. There's nothing more for you to chew in here. He's earned a little bit of leeway here over the last couple days, but getting annoying. He's finding a way to get into the trash can because he knows how to activate the sensor. But anyway, hope you guys are all having a great day here today. I know it's midweek. We're all kind of waiting to see what happens with Bitcoin. It's been kind of consolidating a little bit. Hopefully we can see a further move going on today. We're going to be watching that, going over some altcoin picks and looking at seeing how are some of those plays on BYD are going. As always, they are a sponsor of the channel, so if you guys are looking for a new exchange, make sure to go hop over there, and they have some really sweet deposit bonuses, Now, today there's a few things on the list. Going over Bitcoin, going over altcoins, the typical stuff. I've kind of been liking going over and kind of watching some of these CNBC videos and listening to some of the experts just to kind of get their viewpoint on a few things. So I think today we're going to watch maybe 3 videos over the period of like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I don't want to mess with the YouTube algorithm and get myself in trouble basically, but I'm going to be doing that with you guys a little bit as well. One thing's going to be about a hard landing, which we really haven't heard many people talk about, which is going to be interesting. Another thing is going to be about the UK and Japan going into recession territory, which is kind of wild if you think about it. America is not in recession territory. We're fine right now. And then also we're just going to go through some data as far as it looks like manufacturing was down a little bit. I just want to hear more about it. I actually haven't had a chance to watch that video just yet because I was very busy this morning, basically, so I'll go over that probably a little bit more as well. So, hey, Tony, hey, GT, happy to see you, the real transporter, Pablo, and Nicholas. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the channel and commenting and just saying hi. Gets the algo going, give it the video a like, give it a share. You guys don't have to share it, so not everybody that is in finance actually knows other people in finance, so I understand. But I appreciate it, you guys. I feel like the outside people into crypto, there hasn't been much hype with the Bitcoin at 52K. Yeah, it's because people don't have as much disposable income, and we're not all locked inside looking at our phones because of what's been going on with, COVID. So there's a little bit of a difference dynamic. Bitcoin's been around for a lot longer. It's becoming more institutionalized, as we've seen with the spot Bitcoin ETF. But again, things overall are going pretty well. Typically, to be frank, the way I see Bitcoin, I don't really care too much about the people that aren't used to cryptocurrency. Those people are sucked in when Bitcoin's hitting all-time highs and things are getting a little bit of out of control. When you see people like that getting in, that's usually the crypto community. That those people are usually our exit liquidity. They're buying up all the crypto that we've been buying and dollar cost averaging for quite a bit of time, and unfortunately, they're the ones that are usually holding the largest bags if they're not able to sell. We're looking at hundreds or thousands of % profit for the crypto we start buying during a bear market, before we even get into bull market territory. We're those people that are buying and looking at our red portfolio for months and months and months, if not like over a year, right? So when we're selling, it doesn't really matter. The majority of us are happy with the majority of the positions we've taken, especially if we've chosen larger market cap plays that have been around for a while. We're typically happy with those positions. Now, we have a lot more leeway because we bought so low and when we want to sell. Remember when we were doing Dogecoin, I bought it like 0.0024. I was happy selling at 30 cents, 40 cents, 56, 70 cents, whatever. Every time it went up, I was happy to sell. When it crashed down to like 50 cents after the SNL thing and it was going down more and more, I was still happy to sell. Did I see a lot of profit leaving? Yes, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. I was still happy to sell. You guys are going to feel the same way once we get up here to all-time highs again. Maybe we start to teeter. We start to see some more bearish moves and whatnot. You can scale out, but you don't really need to go into a full-on panic sell everything mode because you have a lot of opportunities to actually sell. So, we can talk about that a little bit more if you guys want to as well. And good evening, Ty. Happy to see you back. Nice to see you yesterday as well. We can't all be in the same boat at the same time. U.S. non-recession, other side of the world in recession balance. Yeah, it's we're going to be teetering a little bit. Heck, you know how the way I view all of this, honestly, and I've made my position clear on this. I think with the 2 negative quarters of GDP growth that we saw in 2022, we did go into a recession, and this is a post-recession boom that we're currently in. The only reason the media did not talk about it in terms of a recession is because there was a 2022 midterm election, in which case they didn't really want to help MAGA Republicans win. Regardless if you guys like Trump, you guys like Biden, I don't really care. I think they were doing that because as far as the establishment is concerned, Trump is the devil, he's Hitler, whatever you want to call him. And so you can justify doing a lot of things in order to make the environment not seem as bad. And I think that's what happened there. You know, I think they were trying to go off of that, and you could also say more legitimate stuff like, hey, we weren't having the mass layoffs. But ultimately, we did have those 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, right? That to me is a recession. They changed the definition of Wikipedia. They changed it on the news. They changed it in Investopedia. Then, because Twitter, of course, everybody has screenshots, and random people can find this data by going through you can go through I guess, a website's history of like changes and stuff like that. They all saw the changes happening. So when that came to light, of course, everybody was like, uh-oh, that sounds like a conspiracy. And conspiracies are okay as long as people don't actually have evidence of things actually happening. So you can be like, that person's crazy, like that liberal's crazy, that conservative's crazy, that moderate's crazy. You can pretty easily do that. But as soon as things start to switch around here a little bit more, and you can see, oh, whoa, they really did change the definition. They changed the definition here and here. That's not good. Even now, the definition on Wikipedia is not the same definition we had in 2022. Normally they tweak it a little bit, but now they're trying to say that the normal one that we have been all taught, if you guys go to college, high school, took economics class, it's always been the negative 2 quarters of GDP growth. That is a technical recession. We had that recession. Not every European country actually had that recession. So I think we're kind of just in a different phase right now, and we're in a good spot. Things are getting a little bit teetery, I wouldn't say it's great, but I still think we're in a very good position. Economy is good, not great, but good. People are trying to feel like the economy is a little bit better. There's hints and there's worries, I would say, on the news right now as far as Fox Business, CNBC, and Bloomberg. People are starting to come around and say, oh no, maybe all the stimulus is drying up, because the government's been putting trillions and trillions of dollars into the economy, one of the reasons we had inflation. But are we really drying up? I don't know, honestly. From the data I can read, which is not the data that everybody else has, I'm not entirely sure right now. But again, we'll look into that over the next few weeks and things like that. Inflation is definitely scaring people, but again, look at Bitcoin. It's there we go. It's pretty much just giving inflation the middle finger and saying hip hip hooray, off we go to the races again. So far, Bitcoin's up a little bit for the day, or actually it's down like 0.01%, down about $4. So not terrible, but you can see the weekly chart here. We are still grinding and grinding and grinding, looking to break out above this higher level of resistance and hold above it, in which case we can definitely go higher, probably up towards 55,000 to maybe 56,000 over the next week or so. Today, go over here. Again, we had a pretty good surge. We're up against a little bit of resistance. We were not able to close above it. I know we talked about this last night. We were not able to close and hold above it. I'm hoping that we have an opportunity to close above it by Sunday, by the end of the week. That way the weekly candle can show some strength here, which is really going to be important, for me. Today, we have the opportunity to keep going higher. It's not like we're looking to crash or anything like that. This candle would give you like a little bit of a pause, like, uh-oh, what could be happening? But, the daily oscillators are still fine. The 4-hour, you're starting to see a little bit of a teetering off here. This is what's probably concerning me right now. I'm afraid we are going to dip down, maybe back down to $51,000 level. Anything really beyond that would really take us back down below the 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart. If we start seeing that type of drop off, that's where I'd be like, uh-oh, we're going to consolidate for a little bit. Not a crazy thing, not a terrible thing. It's just like, oh, okay, get ready for maybe something more of a boring time where we have to have a small drop, and then we have to go sideways for a little bit of time, and then try to break out. So that might mean that we don't actually break out this week, but that's only, again, if we were to start breaking down below the 20 moving average on that 4-hour chart there. We're still perfectly fine. Last time I was thinking, okay, what about this death cross here? Will that do anything? No, nothing at all. So I'm not even going to talk about that death cross happening this time. Maybe since we're at a different level of resistance, maybe it can have an effect, but again, Bitcoin's been fine to say, hey, we had a crazy drop. Every drop has been a buying opportunity, not a shorting opportunity. So I'm not even thinking of doing too many shorts here until Bitcoin really shows some type of capitulation, or it looks like it could be ready to capitulate. Not even in the ballpark right now. Not even in the ballpark. A couple of those trades that we've been doing as far as swing trades, we've been doing the percentages and just kind of seeing how they're going to hold up. All of them are now green. They're all looking good. Ocean is up 22% with a 2x leverage. 22%, 2x, that pretty much means it's been like 10x, right? 10%, excuse me. NMR, AI, stuff like that, it's up 104% with a 10x leverage. Rune is up 153% with a 10x leverage. So those two right there, which I was more bullish on, they seem to have done pretty well with giving us back some profit, so to speak. Now, I didn't put much money here because these were just like, okay, let's see where they go. I'm looking at the percentage. What could you guys get if you followed the trade? 153%, 105%, good. NMR did go down about negative 40 to 50% before it came up to this 110, 105% range, though. That should be noted. And Ape, this one's been more of a surprising one. I've been buying this for a while, just waiting for it to make a move. On my Fairdesk account, which we'll go to next, it's still negative. Ape right here, it's been doing better. On a 2x play, it's up 27%. So maybe I should have been doing a 10x play on this one instead of a 2x play. It would have been doing a lot better. Now with the Fairdesk ones, we're now up from $500 that was yesterday, $550. We're now up to $627 in profit. That's good for the long-term portfolio. It could definitely go back to being negative before we hit all-time highs. I just want to specify that. I did buy a little bit more crypto today. What did I buy? I accidentally did a short order right here, so ignore that one. But I bought some OXT, ARPA, more ARPA, meme, ZIL, ACH, CELR, 1, IOST, AMB, Key, SLP, Hot, Lever, and that's what I bought. So I kind of topped up a few positions, and so far they're doing nothing really because we really haven't had a huge move in altcoins since I bought them. Some of these altcoins have been moving quite a bit. Some of them I am buying late. If I go over here, like AR right now, I didn't buy any of this because it surged up too much. If I do see something of a pullback coming up later on, maybe. For me, these types of plays, what I'm looking at, like they're like day trades right now. I'm not going to go swing trading or doing long-term investments after a day of like, from going from $10 to $12. No, I'm not going to worry about that. You got stuff like VET, These ones have also had these really parabolic moves. I'm not really buying into those ones just yet. But something like an SLP that's up, 9%, 10%. I took a chance and bought some today, right? Or I guess I moved up my average. That's a better way to say it. It's still already in profit. So with an SLP, let me go over to open positions. This is a 3x leverage play. It's up around 49% right now. I started buying this at 0.003. You guys know how I like my tokens that are under a penny. 0.003, 0.0035, 0.0038. So I started buying this right here at 0.003, and you can see this initial kind of breakout. My average has been moving up because I've been dollar cost averaging and kind of adding more to it over time. But ultimately, my average is right now about 0.0032. So if it does fall down below that, even though I did buy some down here, it'll still go into negative territory. So just be a heads up there. But ultimately, it's been a while. You guys know that I've been, down, not necessarily terrible for long-term portfolio, but down, waiting. And I'm just kind of happy to see us making some profit, getting into some green territory here, and looking okay. Now, there's a few videos. This is just the website. There's this one, and this one. Will the U.S. fall in the global slowdown? This was going to be first. Afterwards, industrial production fell 0.1% in January versus forecasted 0.2%. And of course, June not seeing the soft landing thesis in the data. Says cities Hall and Horst. We'll look at that one later. We'll get to this one in a little bit here, but for now, I just wanted to go over some of the other altcoins, okay? Complex Head and Shoulders breaking down lower. I hope not. But although there is some slowdowns happening with Bitcoin. I wouldn't call it bad just yet. You're just seeing some. But again, Bitcoin's been moving up so much. Any consolidation and breakdown afterwards could literally just be bought up in a heartbeat by a whale and just drive us higher. It is such a scary thing to try to short this market right now, which is why you're seeing people that try to getting hurt. And even if it's like even if the technicals are saying there's a legitimate move down that could happen, the technicals are not panning out that way because we're just seeing too much happen on the bullish side. So you're gonna have to like really have those stop losses pretty darn tight. Hey Waldo, what's up? Well, okay, I can tell you guys this now, but I'm frankly, guys, I am exhausted. I am tired. I am freaking have my coffee right here. It's been a fucking horrible day. I've already been having a lack of sleep for the past few days, and then this morning, okay, so this morning I wake up. You know, it's like 3:30 in the morning, and I'm wondering why am I waking up? Right? I normally don't wake up this early. I'm waking up at like anywhere naturally. I wake up anywhere from like 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. It really depends on when I go to bed. And so I hear Loki growling, right? And Loki, he growls sometimes, you know, if there's a dog or something in the yard, or you know, he's a person he doesn't know. But I'm like, why is he growling at 3:30 in the morning? I think it was like 3:25 or something. Like, why is he growling in the morning? Because I look at my phone, I'm like, okay, something must be up. So I look outside, and there's these like two people trying to break into my car and my driveway, right? So I open my window, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And then Loki tries to lurch out of the second story window onto the garage thing, and he tries to go kill these guys. So I have to hold Loki back, and then these guys run away. But Loki was freaking out for blood. And you guys see a very cuddly side of Loki. He's a very lovable dog. Like, you know, here. Loki. Where are you? Where's Loki at? Where's Loki at? Where's Loki at? Loki, come here. Up. Oh, look at you being a good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. So, you guys see lovable Loki. He is technically a trained guard dog, and he can be pretty vicious when he wants to be. So I'm not used to having to hold him back, because normally he would kind of have the full okay to go, but not jumping out of a fucking 2-story window. So I pretty much woke up at 3:30 this morning. I didn't call the cops or anything, because what are you going to do? I pretty much got my rifle, got my ammo, and kind of just sat up all night in the morning. I think I took a nap from like 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning because I was just too exhausted. I was like, oh, fuck, they're not going to come back. And then I just decided to start working, you know. I think I watched some anime in the morning, and I was like, okay, let's make some coffee. Let's make some boiled eggs, hard-boiled eggs. And then I can kind of continue with the work and stuff. Take them outside, check the mail, stuff like that. But yeah, it was a pretty fucking terrible morning. So now I got my gun over my headboard. I got my ammo outside of my safe. And my ammo is not like, this is not like pistol ammo. This is ammo like, I don't even know if I can just find a rifle ammo. You know, it's the big boy stuff. It's the big boy stuff over here. It's pretty darn good. It's meant to take down elk, basically. So I was like, holy shit, I hope these guys don't break into my house, because I'm not going to shoot them if they're going into my car. I literally would just like, if they're still doing it while I'm watching them, I'd probably sick Loki on them while walking outside with a gun. And if they approach me on my property, then I would shoot to kill, because you're not shooting to, you know, maim or something. But basically, because they ran away so fast, hopped in their little fucking junkie car and just drove off, I was like, okay, checked my car, nothing was wrong with it. Loki was pretty good about, like, as soon as he heard a car, he immediately gets up and just starts growling. It's his thing. However, now I'm wondering, should I probably get a shotgun too? So I'm probably going to go shotgun shopping next week. Maybe pistol shopping too, but pistol shopping is a little bit more lengthier for whatever reason. Because it's, you know, concealed laws and things like that. I don't need it for anything outside the house. It's basically just like self-defense. But, you know, I was like wondering, you know, I wonder if these guys are going to break into my house next, and I'm like, you know, freaking, and, you know, a gun that can kill an elk in one shot. It's definitely not something a person necessarily wants to get hit with. But yeah, pretty darn fucking shitty morning. I was just happy to see that some of my trades were doing well. That's about as good news as I'll get. And I think, well, no, I actually got cigars. I'm fucking tired right now, like really fucking tired. But I want to stream, because I've been enjoying these longer streams. I think they've been a lot better for me than like doing these like 30-minute to 1 hour streams. I feel like we can talk a lot more about whatever I want to. I pretty much stopped necessarily looking at my views, and I've just kind of had more energy because I feel like I can talk more do whatever I want more, and then kind of works out. Plus, if I get a cigar, which I think I'm smoking too much, so I'm probably gonna take a break after today, for like maybe a week or two. A week, who am I kidding? But yeah, so yeah, freaking terrible, shitty fucking day. I'm going to go to bed tonight. I'm gonna go to bed peacefully, but I swear if Loki just wakes up growling again, I'm gonna be like, holy fucking shit, I'll have my gun right on top of my headboard and what do you call it? I'm just not gonna be in a good mood. So if I see them again trying to go after my car or one of my other cars, like my sister's car basically, I'm literally just gonna open the door and let Loki go out and fucking start mauling them, because I feel like I'd rather them get mauled by Loki than shot by me and killed. You know, I still kind of, I don't know. I don't think I have much of a tolerance for criminals. I don't think I really do. I know sometimes they have bad lives, but I don't think it justifies it. So, you know, if Loki chews off a couple fingers or if he takes a big chunk out of them, isn't that better than dying, right? So, probably say that. But yeah, I'm fucking in a terrible mood. Terrible mood. The good thing about being in a terrible mood is when I have ADHD, I can really get out of a terrible mood in a very fast way by just forgetting what I was talking about. So like in the next few minutes, I'm going to forget I even got, well, I'm not going to forget, but what do you call it? I'm going to not care as much, right? But yeah, fucking terrible. I just, fucking terrible day. Fucking terrible day for sure. Let me open up the cigar. It's a Le Bijou. I typically don't like these cigars, but I'm giving it a shot. My friend told me that the ones I usually get are over humidified, so I'm trying one that has a proper humidity to see how it works out. If I can actually cut this properly, though. There we go. Oh, this thing is freaking spicy. Having some coffee to drink it down, though. But yeah, fucking sorry to go off. Yeah, just fucking weird day. Fucking weird day. Damn F for those guys. I hate people so. Yeah, exactly. What do you call? This is the first time since I've lived here that someone has actually tried to steal from my house. So it's just a weird thing. Difference between conspiracy and truth these days is 3 months. Yeah, typically you're right. I don't know. It's freaking weird times we live in. Let's see. What did you give him as a treat? He got some marinated chicken. That's what he got as a treat. Marinated chicken. Car thief ammo? Yeah, for real. I don't think I have such a fancy gun or anything. I just have a good hunting rifle. I think that hunting rifle probably cost me about $1,000, so it's not a cheap rifle, but it's not like a very expensive one that's like thousands of dollars. But yeah, you know, when I talk about thieves and whatnot, I'm like, I don't think I value their lives all too much. Honestly, I just don't think I do. Now, that doesn't mean that I am just going to go out, be a vigilante. But if I feel like my life is threatened, you know, it's an easy choice. Me or them. Heck, even Loki or them, you know? Very easy choice. Now, what I need to do is I need to get... Oh, my match is right here. Sorry. Blocked by the microphone. Let's get this. Please don't break. Please don't break. Please don't break. There we go. And then we'll start looking at some other tokens and stuff like that. But yeah, freaking this weird day. Freaking weird day. All right. Little cedar exposure. All right, it's toasted enough. Well, didn't get it lit enough. Oh, motherfucker. I'm horrible with matches. I tend to break them so much. There we go. There we go. Might be a little bit too big of a flame, but who cares? There we go. There we go. Oh, perfect. Okay. Sorry about that. That took a little bit of a minute. World's getting crazier every day. Yeah, I know, right? I don't even live in a bad neighborhood either. I live with a whole bunch of veterans and old people. Hey, myself, good training for Loki? Yeah, but I don't want Loki trying to jump through this freaking screen window. Freaking, that was the scary part of the whole situation. It doesn't take too long for me to get my gun and my ammo. But yeah, now I gotta watch out. I don't know. I never thought of my neighborhood like that, but now I'm like, fuck, now crime's getting bad. Let's see. Damn, man, that sucks. Maybe go get some cameras. Yeah, dude, I already ordered it off of Amazon and got some solar lights, and I got some cameras, and then that way I can kind of keep track of everything. Luckily, my neighbors have this really huge, like, really bright light pole. So like the whole cul-de-sac is lit by their freaking light, which is kind of annoying sometimes. But now I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not so annoyed. It kind of saved me some time here. But Loki definitely got some good training there. I don't see like. Okay, remember, not many people come on my property, not many people try to steal some of that. It's very rare to see Loki truly mad. He hardly ever barks. He barks so loud he woke up 2 of my neighbors. That's how loud he barked. He's not a loud barker. He's not even a barker by trade. If he barks normally, it's a playful bark because I'm having a really exciting time. An aggressive bark because he is like, don't fuck with me bark is like 10 times louder. If you guys have German Shepherds, you'll know they have like, any dog. They have different types of barks. But Loki's mad bark is I love it, but I don't hear it all too often. There's solar driveway alarms with a receiver that will be indoors and will alert you with any movement. Yeah, I'm definitely going that because typically, I my lights I have a lot of sensor lights around my property. I'm gonna get some better ones basically now, but they're usually like turn on when somebody's walking about, But usually, again, like any sound that happens outside, Loki can hear it because I have my window usually cracked, just a little bit of fresh air in. But yeah, it's gonna be watching a little bit more. I'm gonna let my grandmother know though. She probably would be interested to hear about it. My grandmother's always asking me how the neighborhood's doing and stuff. Well, kind of. I'm just sure she would probably want to hear about it. The USA is on a safe country. Here in Quebec, Canada, I don't even lock my house door. Yeah, this is not Quebec. I mean, I don't even live in a rough neighborhood. But if the junkies are coming out, I mean, they had a pretty shitty car. It was like one of those old boxy cars from like the 80s or something. You know it had the roll up crank windows, But yeah, I mean, there's a reason I have, I have hunting rifles. Now I need to have a shotgun on top of it. I'm not, risking my safety. Fuck. Honestly, there's no hesitation. If somebody's trying to bang down my door, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody's trying to bang down my door. I don't have to wait for them to enter my house. The bullet will go through the door and take them out. I will be on the phone with 911 kind of confirming, hey, these people are trying to break into my house. I just want you guys to know I'm about to shoot them because I am in fear and for my life and my dog's life. And then, you want to make sure you're in good cahoots with the law because sometimes the law, they'll try to punish the victim of the crime, right? They're breaking into my house, but I shoot them, I can get in trouble for that. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, it's definitely weird times we're living in. Definitely not the best of times. Let's just say that. Have you checked on Graham's house? I don't know what Graham's house is. Some that won't go far, not glance and penetrate is good to have, or just a 12 gauge. Yeah, I mean the thing about a rifle is it'll go far. It'll go like hundreds of yards. So I'd prefer not to use that. But if it does impact on a human, it probably won't go that far. But a shotgun, oh yeah, shotgun will be fine. Buckshot as far as Dave Chappelle says, right? Put your finger on the red part, you press against the striker, not finger in the middle stick. What are you talking about there? That one I'm a little confused on. Might get a Rio Link panorama Wi-Fi camera, put it outside the second story window. I have the captures my whole cul-de-sac, notifies me whenever something is in the cul-de-sac. Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, I'll save that one there. Rio Link panorama Wi-Fi camera. I do got myself some good Wi-Fi, even though it's just for oh yeah, this is pretty nice. Rio Link Duo 2. Yeah, I'll probably get that one. Oh, it's 4K too. I'll buy that one and get it all set up. I just want to deal with it. I think the last time I was somebody broke into the house I was living in was all the way back when I was a child living in the ghetto. I hope my neighborhood, well, it's not, no, my neighborhood's too nice to be such in the ghetto, but whatever they were doing, they were trying to steal something from my car, and there's nothing in my car. My car, every car in my driveway is empty. There's a blanket in the car, but maybe they thought I was hiding something in the blanket. So what do you call? I'll have to keep an eye on that for a while. I thought you lived by your grams, and she was like, "Oh, my grandparents got back. They're back. They're back from Alabama." I didn't realize they were coming back so soon, but they came back. I think yesterday. So they were fine. And plus, they have people come and watch their house and stuff like that. I live in a nice neighborhood. They live in a very nice neighborhood. They have room for like 4 cars in their garage, which to me is fucking insane. My brother got his car stolen the other day in Kent. Yeah, see, crime's just kind of on the rise. It's just in a weird spot. It's just weird things going on right now. I haven't been in, well, I guess I drive through Kent to go to Seattle, but yeah, it's things are getting a little bit worse. And if we go into a recession, crime's gonna spike, and it's gonna fucking suck. But again, that's why you gotta protect yourself, do good. I'm now that I've been affected by it, you can say, now I'm going to take a more serious approach, which means buying weapons and getting more security monitors. Oh man, Cadillac converter. Yeah, that's probably what they were trying to go for. It just seems weird because again, my cul-de-sac is pretty well lit from my neighbor's light. It seems almost crazy. It's like they felt like I wasn't gonna be here, but literally they weren't necessarily scared of me. I don't think they were scared of Loki. Once Loki started barking and really growling loud, that's when they ran. They didn't run when I said, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" It was when Loki he started, like, Loki sensed my fucking anger, my anger, and he fucking just started going berserk. So I almost thought of just opening the door and letting Loki out, but why put Loki in that type of situation if they're gonna start running, right? If they wouldn't stop running, I probably would have just let Loki go. Usually if you're going for a Cadillac convertible, you're not really packing a weapon or something like that. Although, again, I would have had my rifle, and a rifle will do a lot more fucking damage. What's right here? Disconnect the car battery, no chance of them leaving. LOL, I have a special Bluetooth switch I can turn off on my old Porsche. That sounds kind of fancy. That sounds really nice. That sounds actually really cool. Hey Richard, man, Mike got on here a little bit late. What happened? Did someone try to break in? Somebody tried to break into my car this morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning, like fucking, perfect REM sleep time, but they didn't get anything. Loki woke me up, started barking. I cussed the people out from my window, and then Loki started fucking like really barking, which he normally doesn't do all too much. And then as soon as they heard Loki barking, they were just fucking off. But they were trying to do something with my car. It looked like they weren't trying to go for the under part of the car. They looked like they were trying to get in through the window. So I'll see if they did any damage. I didn't get a chance to even check on it today. I was just like, I don't want to fucking deal with it. If something bad happens, I'll just pay for it. I usually don't like to go through insurance because they find a way to like increase your premiums and stuff. But worse things worse. Well, there's no cracks. I checked underneath my car. I checked the sides of the car. I just didn't open the car and see if sometimes if they break into your car, they try to break your window, like not like crack, but like try to jimmy it down. Sometimes it can break the motor. That's the one thing I'm afraid of, and I'll see it tomorrow when I drive over to the. What am I doing tomorrow? Oh, I might go say hi to my grandparents. That's all. Cadillac converters are what they are after in California. That's what I hear on the news. That's definitely what I hear on the news. Someone broke my car window a couple years ago and stole my $15 Bluetooth radio transmitter. I would have just given it to them. They didn't need to break my damn window. Windows are freaking expensive, really expensive. If Bitcoin could hold 52K, do you expect 50K? Oh, can't hold. Yeah, I would expect it probably to come down to 50K, maybe 50K 500. Yeah, somewhere around that range. It doesn't look like it wants to have a multi-crash. That would take weeks for it to have a larger move down because it's been kind of pretty substantially making some really good moves here. Everyone speaks the 12 gauge pump. I know, but see, if there's a criminal coming, personally, I think a rifle would do more damage internally. And so like if somebody tried to break into my house or just break my car and then I feel threatened by them and I shoot them, I don't really want, like, I'm okay if they live, but I personally don't want them ever walking again, you know? So, but again, there are laws and rules and stuff like that. I try to obey those to the best of my ability. But, besides the laws and stuff, my heart, I don't really have a soft spot for criminals like that who, there are different crimes out there, so I have a different okayness level, if I understand more facts and stuff. But if I literally see somebody trying to steal something of mine, all sympathy I have really goes down the toilet. The value of their life goes down the toilet in a freaking heartbeat. I know, Richard. It's, how do I say it? It's bad. I'm not happy with it, but it's not something that will affect my life all too much. It's most like now I gotta wonder. Now it's gonna be on my mind, and now I'm like, okay, investment in weapons, investment in cameras, investment in more lights. I'll be okay. But yeah, sucks. Cause now I gotta think. Remember, I'm my ADHD. It makes me have a lot of planning in case of events. So sometimes if I'm watching a movie, like I could be watching a movie on my TV down here in the entertainment center, or I could be at a movie theater, I am thinking of 2 or 3 different things besides when I'm just watching the movie. And some of those things are, I wonder what happened if somebody broke into my house. What would my plan be? Because I know I would have Loki, I know I'd have a gun, right? I already knew exactly what I was going to do as soon as Loki woke me up and actually saw people at my car. Everything was already fine. The surprise was Loki trying to go out and kill them by jumping out of the 2nd-story window on top of the other part of the roof, like, that covers the garage. That was a surprise to me. But besides that, typically I have a contingency plan for most things. But I don't want to have to ever execute those plans, because rarely do people actually do stupid things like trying to break into a car in a cul-de-sac. Well, at least as far as my experience. Normally they go after apartment complexes because people can't just like see their car in an apartment complex. They're usually kind of far away. If you guys ever know those apartment cities, people have to park all over the place. You won't whistle with a shotgun though. That is a good point. That is a very good point right there. Buckshot, buckshot, buckshot. As someone who has seen both used, dogs are even better than guns. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Loki's a pretty vicious dog if he's given the opportunity. He's gotten into a couple of dog fights at the dog park, and dogs have tried to bully him and try to bite him and stuff. If a dog ever tries to bully Loki, his first instinct is to come to me and wait further instructions. He will come to me, he will sit by my side, and then during that time frame, I can usually try to find the dog's owner and say, hey, can you get your dog, control your dog. But if that dog tries to bite Loki while he's in my presence, like while he's next to me, he doesn't even have to wait for a command. He's allowed to go vicious. And then after that, the other dog usually submits and runs away. If the dog fight continues, I will try to hold Loki back while kicking the other dog, and fucking like kicking, not like a shove, like a fucking kick to the ground, and maybe I broke a bone. Never broken a dog's bone. Let me be clear. But Loki pretty much has leeway when he knows I am threatened or he is threatened, which is fine. I don't, dogs are dogs. They have their instincts. I typically don't go against dogs' instincts. It's good to train them, right, so that you know they're not going to cause harm or anything. But in a dangerous situation, I'm very proud of Loki. I'm very proud of the way he reacted. There was a silver lining in there. I'm very proud of Loki. He got some he got chicken, he got some bacon, he got some good stuff for being a good guard dog this morning. 45, yeah, that'll do it. Paintball for thieves, non-lightning threatening thieves. No, see, no. Any thief is a life-threatening thief if they're on my property. Typically when I walk with Loki and we're going out in the cul-de-sac in the neighborhood, it's not a bad neighborhood like in the daytime, nothing bad. But let's say, there's some bad going on. I'm not carrying a gun. I'm carrying a sharp hunting knife that's good for cutting into meat, like filleting and stuff. So if they try anything, little samurai knife will do the job just fine. To me, there is no non-threatening attacks. Again, that's if they're like today, maybe you could say that. Well, no, those types of circumstances. But it really depends on what they're trying to do. Once you're on my property, I think everything is life-threatening. If you're not in my property, very different story. Yeah, there's a lot of non-threatening things that can happen there. Like normally I'll just try to disengage and walk away if it's like downtown or something. Sometimes you see crazy people that try to pick a fight. I don't even try to pick a fight with a crazy person. I would just walk away. If they try to get physical, you push them off and you create distance. On my property, there is no distance. It's kind of just like, you know. But again, I've never been put in that situation. Thief stole my Cadillac, replaced the and car didn't have the same oomph again. Yeah, it can definitely be a burden. That's why I'm like, please don't please don't steal anything with my car. Oh man. Okay. What's right here? Bitcoin gonna start to the downside. You guys talking about a few different tokens. Let's just kind of go over some of the tokens right now. Right now, Bitcoin is on the verge, I would actually say, of trying to have a pretty large surge going throughout the today. What you're seeing is a little bit of softness with the 4-hour chart. Right now, if you guys want to get more bearish, wait for Bitcoin to break down below the 20 moving average in the 4-hour chart. The reason I say that is because we've actually had some oscillators go into this negative territory a few times in the past few days. Each time has really been something of a kind of a lag here, like a lag, a little bit. Oh, that's still bullish right here. A little bit of a drop down because of inflation. It hasn't seemed to do anything. It hasn't seemed to have an effect. And again, this is somebody that you're talking to somebody who's thought Bitcoin would be falling down much more by now. But you know, when I see the pattern, I just don't even try to go against it. I would wait for us to break down below the 20, and then from there we can start getting a little bit more bearish there. Because what's happening this week is basically a large battle to see if Bitcoin on the weekly candle can close above this $52,000 mark. It's like $52,088, something like that. But what you're looking for is this high point from way back over here in December of 2021. So that's pretty much the big thing here. Back over here, and today, can't you see it? Can't you see the attempted surge right there? Where we just start pushing much higher, and it's a glorious day for Bitcoin. Altcoins also try to make another leg up. It looks like we're getting to that point right now. Now again, if there's a sudden drop down, we could always do that. But we've been in this nasty situation where we have a crazy work down, and all of a sudden we start taking off. Where was it at? Where was it? It reminds me of some of these situations right here. Where we've had these nasty moves, and all of a sudden it doesn't matter, we're just still taking off. Even if everything's screaming down, 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 it comes down for a little bit, but ultimately makes that higher move. And I think so far, we saw a little bit of a move down. That's just that little wick here. But we haven't broken down below that 20. If you are going to start shorting, I would say just have a tight stop loss. That stop loss might be around 52,000. I would just actually put it around 53,100 just so there's a little bit of a cap there. And, you know, honestly, 53,100, that is about a 2% stop loss. That's not going to kill you at all. And that way, if it does have a massive surge, you're not really stuck with some type of bag on the other side because, you know, Bitcoin can just go higher and higher and higher for a few days. And you're like, oh, shit, now I've lost everything. I don't want you guys to be in that position. So just have that stop loss. It'll protect you very well. If you guys are going long, again, that stop loss doesn't have to be too far away. It's 51,210. So since we're kind of in this consolidation level, you long or short, your stop loss is going to be pretty tight, which gives you guys a lot of leeway for, you know, just saying, okay, I'll buy. I know the risk isn't too high, but the upside or on either trade is so great that I can just kind of relax and wait it out. So you can buy and just wait, which typically doesn't happen when we're kind of seeing these larger moves. Like I got stopped out of a lot of swing trades right here. I had to go buy back in right here when we were going on the longs. But again, I wasn't really going long on Bitcoin. What have I been saying for the past week or so? Altcoins, 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 and only finally are altcoins like actually making those moves. So let's go down the altcoin list now. And look at Bitcoin. This is the 4-hour chart. Bitcoin's been doing nothing over the past, you know, day on the 4-hour chart. Okay, so let's go over here. Ethereum is making moves higher and higher and higher. That's a good sign. Still waiting for an opportunity for a breakout here. That's what I like to see. Momentum is still fairly bullish in the 4-hour charts here. ADA, higher, higher, higher. Look at that. That's why I've been doing it. Even Dogecoin's been going higher, and this has been a surprise all to me as well because we've been waiting for this for a freaking long time. You guys know my opinion on it. We've just been waiting for too damn long. AMP, doing nothing. It's been doing nothing for a while, but I'm hopeful. We've had a couple spikes here. These spikes are something more of like a 4% spike, so they are a little bit more volatile than you would think. But again, they've pretty much been going sideways overall. Let's stick to that. Ape token going higher. I've been talking about this one for a while, and it's only now making a move, trying to break out of this resistance up here around 169. 4-hour chart right now, just so you guys know, is my favorite thing to look at all these breakouts as far as the altcoins are concerned. ARB, higher highs, doing pretty well because these guys aren't at the same cycle highs as Bitcoin. They have a lot more ground to make up. I know we've talked about this in the past, but again, going higher. BNB going higher. XRP going higher. You know, Bitcoin Cash not going higher. This thing has been making some relatively different moves across the entire market for the past few months now. If I just zoom out a little bit, you'll kind of see kind of the wackiness of it. That kind of changed up the situation. So it's really been going sideways for the majority of the time. However, it's still, you know, at least over the past couple of days, it's still been moving up. I would say just like Bitcoin, there's nothing special about it. Bonk, still going higher. Chili's going higher after a long consolidation mode right here. AVX going higher. Still 4-hour charts. Comp broke out, going higher. Crow going higher. A lot of stuff is in this process of they've just broken out over the past few days, and they're still continuing on those breakouts. Solana is actually a little bit more stagnant, but you can see it's still making some moves. Again, using Bitcoin as that reference, Solana looks more like Bitcoin than a lot of other altcoins at this moment in time. EOS, Matic's breaking out right now. We've been talking about this one for God knows how long, trying to see the move happen. Ethereum Classic, stuck at a resistance level, trying to break out. Let's wait and see. That's the Euro. We don't gotta really worry about that one. File token, FTM, at a verge of a breakout. There's a lot of things that you could just buy right now and just wait and watch it break out today, hopefully. GTC, ICP. ICP is not as good as the other ones right now. It's kind of in this consolidation range. ID token. Okay, this one could break out, but my God, it's already had a big pop. You got to be careful with that one. KDA, this one's an opportunity for a nice pop. Leo, even opportunity here. Leo's kind of a long-term gamble. It's not something I'd actually day trade if I were you. Link, consolidating. I already hit a breakout. Kind of in a weird spot. I mean, the breakout was good. Don't get me wrong, but it almost feels like you actually just waiting for this next move, and you may be buying this in anticipation of a move sometime later on tomorrow, not even tonight. I'm not puffing this as much. Damn it. Let me relight this, guys. But I just want to make that point to you guys. Like, oh mother. Every time I mess up when it comes to these matches. But I just want to make that point though. I'm pretty happy with where altcoins are right now. I know I've been telling you guys I've been buying altcoins for like the past 3 weeks, but when I tell you guys this, I'm like, okay, if you guys are looking for swing trades, which is normally what I prefer to do, altcoins seem to be the way to go right now. And now, I did tell you about this for the past 3 weeks. It's been kind of hard because, as soon as Bitcoin finally gave us, I think it's the last 2 weeks, not the last 3 weeks. Ever since Bitcoin had that reversal, now it's like, okay, now what? You can try to buy Bitcoin if you want to, and I think I've added more to my Bitcoin holdings. But if you guys, if you guys are looking for that Bitcoin nice move, or that nice move where it's a little bit easier opportunity to get profit, it seems that the altcoins are a lot more ready to go here. Glorious. All right, and a sip of coffee. Hey, boy, you're doing a good job. Loki's getting a lot of praise today. He hardly ever has to do guard dog duties, and I mean hardly ever. Honestly, the last time he did guard dog duties was when some random dog came on our property, and I was like, "What the fuck is this dog doing in my backyard?" Because it wasn't a coyote. Normally, it's coyotes. And me and Loki went to go investigate, and the dog didn't do anything, but Loki was just growling and like saying, "Hey, what the fuck you doing here?" And then we just got it to leave and go into the cul-de-sac, and then we just went back in the house. I don't care what the dog does afterwards. I looked online, just on Reddit, to see if anybody had a lost dog. and it wasn't anybody that I know that needed dogs in the neighborhood. So I was like, okay, I'll just, watch it. And called up the neighbors, hey, there's a dog loose in the neighborhood. Just, don't let the kids out or something like that. That's typically the extent I'll do it. Let's see. Trading during run-ups like this is wild. Everything's a little bit easier, honestly. Again, when I've been talking about topping up and things like this, again, like we can go through some of these trades here, like Bonk. Bonk is now up 20%. You can see how many times I bought. Oh no, you guys can't because my head's in the way. Boop. See how many times I've been buying Bonk and waiting for it to finally turn positive. Right, I started buying some of this in 12/19, January 1st. A lot of these in January 1st. Probably I did a market buy, January 27th, and then February 8th. So this right here at 0.0. Let me see it here. 0.017. Okay, that was 12/19. Here, 12/19/2023, right here. Okay, I started dollar cost averaging this over here, and I know it doesn't have the full chart. I started dollar costing averaging this a lot. Now, I only started off with 100. Then I bought one. Then I bought like 4,000. Then like 2,000. Then like another 700, and then another 1,700, something like that. So I got a lot more aggressive on the lower side here, but I've still been buying 2.8 over here. Once I started to see it actually have that, the day before the breakout, I was like, we have a little change of character. Let me see where we can go. So again, you can add more once it's getting into a more bearish territory. You don't have to do a quick $20 here, $20 here, $20. You can do $20 here, $200 here, $200 here, and then like $50 when it starts moving up higher. It all changes up a little bit. At the end of the day, you just want to have your average lower. But again, I started up here, even if it was a very small position. As it went down, I was not hesitant about adding more to it, just because Bonk had come down so much and Bonk had moved up so much in the first place that I wanted to see how much higher it can go. And even today, Bonk consolidation move higher is what I'm expecting. But that's because Bitcoin's consolidating. We're not seeing Bitcoin crash or anything like that. We're seeing a potential for Bitcoin to actually consolidate, go higher, or come down a little bit. But that move down is not enough for a crash. It would take some news happening later on today to make that happen. I know my head's still kind of in the middle here, but let me see. Like Big Time. Big Time's another one. It's only up 27% right now. Even Ape Token's coming down a little bit. That sucks. I wonder what happened to Ape Token. No, my Ape is, never mind. This Ape Token in particular, I've had this for such a long time, I didn't get a good chance to average down. But it doesn't matter. I'm still expecting it to go higher in the long run. But Big Time. I bought Big Time. Where's Big Time? On January 1st, January 9th, and February 8th. So January 1st, literally 2 days before it had a massive move down. 2 days before it moved down a lot, okay? Okay, so I didn't get the best price. After that, I bought on the 9th. The 9th was up here after it actually surged, okay? It was actually falling that day, so I thought I might take a fair value gap type of approach where it comes down halfway. It did, except for later on it came down even more. Then I bought on the 8th, which is right here, another change of character on a very small time frame here. This is a 4-hour chart I was looking at the time. And now we're moving up. But because of that, now my average is down about here, not all the way up here when I first started to buy. And again, I bought 80 right here, 500 on the 9th right here, and then again a 210 on the 8th over here. So my average is a little bit slighter. So, don't think that I'm buying the bottom or something like that. I am not. I am buying at some decent prices here once I started to see some reversal. But what was happening here on the 8th with Bitcoin? Again, you got to remember this. Bitcoin's always the reason you guys are looking at stuff. Well, actually, let me go back over here very fast. Yeah, the 8th. Okay, sorry. February 8th, Bitcoin was breaking out. Now, Bitcoin was having a more robust breakout than a lot of the altcoins, but Bitcoin was breaking out nonetheless. So that gave me much more of an enthusiasm to be buying a lot of these altcoins here. Which typically, I've been kind of all over the place with my trades because I've just been like, okay, I see bearish moves here. We had the bearish move, but my bearish thesis has, on the upside and especially the downside, I've been too overzealous lately, and that's been something that normally doesn't happen to me. Normally, I'm the guy that gets out too early, right? So it's been weird to see me not hit my price targets and see the reversals happen quicker than expected. That's not something that I normally have happen, but it's been something that's been a fault of mine as far as my trading strategy over the past few weeks. No, past few months. What am I talking about? So, I've learned from it, sure, but still, it's not like I've improved as much because I'm still having those same issues right now. And maybe you guys could say that might actually apply to what could happen over the next few days here. Maybe this is the top for Bitcoin, and maybe I should be getting out right now. I'm still hoping for a more aggressive move. But at this point, even if it does come down, I'm still not sure how much further that thing will come down. And, so I'm willing to take the loss because, fortunately for me, I've been able to get some profit on some altcoins. I've had a stop loss on some of them, but I've had to re-enter a lot of them, and now they're up. But actually, they're up quite a bit. Now, what am I saying? They're up quite a bit. But again, I got stopped out of a lot when we had the Bitcoin kind of event over here with the inflation data. So I've had to re-enter them, and not all of them I was able to re-enter, and I'm not up as much as if I didn't have the stop loss there in the first place. But still, I'm in profit. That's all I care about right now. Profit, profit, profit. All right, there we go. Yeah, you can see the Bitcoin 15-minute chart. We're kind of in this nasty range. Nothing really terrible. It looks nasty, but it's not like really bad. Okay, goddamn. Let me move my head back over here. But that's kind of where we're at. I can easily see us trying to make another move higher here, consolidate a little bit longer, make a move up. We've had this smaller breakout right here. It hasn't really been a whole bunch, but a golden cross here. The 1 hour chart's pretty interesting. We bounced off the 50. We didn't break down below support levels down here around the 51,200 level. We're still above that. We did break down, you can see this trend line here. We did break down there, but again, it's not necessarily terrible. We're even having a small, teeny breakout right now. I'll say teeny. It's nothing crazy. There we go. Just this huge order block that I made here. The trend is your friend. It definitely is right now. It's hard to go against the trend right now, especially because all this Bitcoin. Remember, institutions are being forced to buy up loads of Bitcoin because of all the inflows into the currency. Because Bitcoin is going higher and higher, everybody's like, oh, I better buy. And plus, everybody's trying to get exposure to Bitcoin right now on top of just the actual hype. And so they're forced to buy lots of Bitcoin. Like, how much Bitcoin has been bought over the past few weeks? Like billions of dollars of Bitcoin. Billions of dollars from these exchange-traded fund companies because they have to hold a certain amount in order to comply with the regulations, which, again, they are helping us out quite a bit. How high will Bitcoin go during the bull run? I honestly don't have a clue. I'm thinking of at least $100,000. I'm not good at long-term projections because typically we just kind of blow right through everything. So if I go over here to some of these longer-term Bitcoin charts, let's go to the monthly ones because those are usually the best. Let's get rid of those. You can do Fibonacci levels and things like that. You can even do Gann boxes, things of that nature. Gann boxes might be a help here, right? There's no clear level of resistance here that says, wow, we were really going to hit that level. I'm kind of just like, okay, I will start to see when we're starting to fail, and once the momentum slows down, that's when I'm like, oh, okay, something not good is happening here. But even look at the monthly chart, look at this. We're having a pretty darn good month here. We should technically continue on. It's just that economic data has been kind of weird of late. Only now did this Fibonacci level even matter. It didn't matter back over here. It mattered a little bit over here, but come on, we would have liked to use this back over here, and we're not going to really be focusing on like 2024 when we're in the bull market of 2020. It doesn't make much sense. So now we could always apply the same thing over here with the COVID low, 2021 high, the lows from FTX. Again, it matters, but maybe it's the high as 150,000. Oh, I don't really want to make that projection just because of the way market caps work and diminishing returns. But but my God, it could very well be. It could very well be. For people that are calling for $1 million in 2024, not my estimate by a long shot, but you know what? You know, everybody is entitled to share their opinion online. It's what the online world is about. I like to have those conversations. Maybe Bitcoin 53K tonight. I would say by the end of the trading day, so you know, by tomorrow, yeah, there's a good chance we could hit 52,000. We're not really far away from it at all. 52,000 is literally right there, right here. We're really close. We're really close to it. Let me put on maybe the 2-hour chart. I think the 2-hour chart shows enough of what's going on with Bitcoin right now. What's at phase? I don't know what at phased is. Can we long Aave now? Do I have Aave on my chart? Oh, it's AVAX. Let me go over here. Boopity boopity boop. This thing already looks like it broke out. I mean, we haven't talked about this in a hot minute, but oh, did I remove the indicators? Let me not do that. Oh, it's breaking out today. Look at that. Congratulations. Yes, this is an okay opportunity to buy. Your stop loss will be in a few different spots if you want to take the stop loss on this trade. You could have one down here at about $89.90 in case we have some type of nasty reversal off of that. Or more realistically, you could try to put it around $85. To me, $85 is kind of a stop loss that I don't like because it is like a 9% stop loss, or excuse me, 8.5% stop loss. $89 might be a little bit more acceptable, around a 4.5% loss if it does hit it. If you want to be a little bit tighter, which is a little bit more risky, of course, you can go just straight to $90, which is about a 3% stop loss there. I would go in that middle zone of like 4%, around like $88, $89. But you're seeing the breakout. You're seeing a little bit of resistance right here, which should come along pretty soon. That's going to be around, let me magnetize it just to give you a precise number, 95.41. That surge should be taking you through that, and then of course maybe a little bit of a resistance around $98 and, you know, around $100. But it's primed and ready to go. So Aave is in a good spot. Just because it's in a good spot doesn't mean you shouldn't have a stop loss on it, though. That's the thing. If you're spot trading, just trade with some type of alert system and you'll be fine. TradingView definitely has a different, hold on a second. There we go. Oh man, my belt was too tight. If you go on TradingView and you right click, you'll see this thing that says add alert. Just hit that and it'll give you a price target. And you could say if price breaks down below this or hits this level, alert, and you'll be good to go. So if you're kind of afraid that the spot won't have, you won't know that the spot is losing money. Because sometimes we just fall asleep, frankly. Fundamentals on SDNL. SDNL doesn't really have the best fundamentals, but we can check it out very fast on FinViz. And never be afraid, Ken. You're a member. You get preferential treatment because you have, well, you've been a member freaking for so long. SNDL. And remember, memberships are only $2. So, you know, I try not to make them crazy expensive like a lot of other YouTubers. Let's see. Yeah, so this thing is losing money. It's losing 159 million, and market cap is very small at 372 million. So again, it can go pretty crazy after a while. Let me go over here. That is, what the heck's going on here? What? Am I zoomed in? No, I'm zoomed. Okay, there's like a nasty overlap happening right here. You might see all this cluster that's going on. Let's just go over here to this. It's at the bottom of a range if you want to buy it from a technical perspective, but really what I want to do is this. Just give me the, oh, there it goes. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to go down a little bit more below the news. See how this works. No. They might not have all the same things because they're in Canada, because I'm not seeing anything besides 6Ks. 8K anywhere in there? April, that's April 20th. There's not really much here, dude. I don't know. All form types. Quarterly filings. Yeah, there are no items that match your query. I don't know why. Annual and transition report. This might be it. See, this is from April. It's not going to do any good. So there's not really much I can do here. Maybe financial results. Q3 2023. Yeah, this is probably as good as we're going to get. Q3, geez, that's a long time ago. We're not even talking about Q4. They're still losing money from operations. I know it's very hard to see, so just bear with me. Net revenue. Stable. They're not growing. Their private label sales have been going up. They've just launched an e-commerce platform, which is an opportunity for growth. But they have no actual real growth to speak of. So just like any company that's kind of losing money with a small market cap, they're making investments and trying to grow. It hasn't really shown much just yet. So they're going to be working on their liquor here pretty soon. SNDL, their cannabis seemed to be growing at a pretty decent rate, but not enough to, I guess, dude, this is just going out. What the heck? They're investing heavily into their cannabis growth, like trying to make more cannabis. Their cannabis potency level as a result of an average of 25%, which is pretty darn good. Large format flower, vapes, and pre-rolls under its value-driven brands. They're trying to appeal to poor people that don't like top shelf stuff. They're trying to see a reversal here. They're trying. It's been a struggle for them, as you can imagine. Their investments haven't shown much fruit just yet. But if you think their investments will show fruit, you could try to buy in. I would say this is an opportunity simply for dollar cost averaging. You can buy some up now since it's a low price. But honestly, if we go into a little bit more of an economic slowdown, I would not be surprised if we see the price come lower, honestly. So I think it'd just be 100 shares in case they have a split in the future. 100 shares is more than enough to own of this right now. Maybe 200, 300, depending on how much money you honestly want to toss at it. You can always put more. But for now, they're investing and they're hoping for a turnaround. They've stemmed the bleeding a little bit. But if all these economies are starting to go down south, like, Japan and UK, it might be hitting North America fairly soon. So speaking of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to relight this cigar for the freaking third time because it's just not it's not doing something right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And then we are going to watch a CNBC video here talking about the global recessions going on right now, and then we'll kind of have a discussion about that, okay? So while we watch Bitcoin on a 5-minute chart here, there we go. Oh, and I gotta say something ahead of time. So I'm sorry, I thought I was gonna have a video for you guys here fairly soon about a good trading strategy, because I was looking at a few videos and I told you guys I was gonna watch a whole bunch of channels out there, and I was gonna watch their tutorial videos because I have trouble making a whole bunch of trading strategies. And you know what? I watched a few trading strategies over the week, and I was like, oh, okay, I can try to make one off of this based off of what they're telling you guys. But lo and behold, when I actually try to implement the strategy on any stock, any cryptocurrency, anything, they all turned out to be complete horseshit. So basically, I'm going to try to come up with a little bit of a different strategy and just kind of maybe just teach you guys how to place some of these indicators that they're talking about. Because I saw a strategy the other day about the anchored VWAP. And I was like, okay, I told you guys I'm going to be pretty excited about this. And so what I did is I went over to Bitcoin and I was like, okay, let me add the anchored VWAP on a day trading chart, because typically the anchored VWAP is for something of a day trader, right? Because it's going to be using volume and stuff like that. So I went over here and I practiced it. It's even on my cheat sheet down here because I was trying to use it a lot to figure out what the heck I'm going to be using this for. A reversal, right? And now I was trying to figure out how often would some of these levels be important and things like that. Really, it's not all too useful. It's not holding up on any of these levels right here. I should probably do a different one because this one isn't really giving us a long time frame here. A high point right here. I was like, okay, let's see. Is it going to be a level of support, resistance, stuff like that? It really wasn't overall too good. What you're primarily going off of are just the oscillators here, and those are giving you a better shot than the VWAP, right? They were like, okay, it would give you a good support level right here. No, there's no good support level right here. A little bit of resistance right here. There was, but there wasn't any room to make money off the reversal. And so I'm going through all these. I'm like, okay, maybe it doesn't work on Bitcoin, even though they said it would. Maybe I will try on a Forex chart. So I have some Forex charts on my stock market pick right here to go off of maybe the euro versus the Japanese yen or the euro versus the dollar. And so I was like, okay, we have a reversal here. Let me go back in time a little bit and see what would have actually happened here, right? This one, it did a little bit better. So you see the breakout that happened right here, a little bit of a momentum on the oscillators. But again, the oscillators did so much better than this. And so I'm like, okay, if I give you this, it's not going to be as profitable. Coming back down, there was no support right here. So I was like, okay, that kind of sucks. But maybe just what happened if I go over here and I add this back onto this very quickly. Reversal change right there. Any support? No. Any support right here? A little bit, but by here, you're not using it all too much. You're basically waiting for the change of character right there, which again goes to smart money, which is a lot more profitable than the anchored VWAP. And I'm looking for support levels. I'm looking for resistance levels. They're there a little bit, but if you break out here, that might be a concern like, oh, maybe you want to buy. That's not the way you do it. And so it just was not profitable on a majority of stocks that I was looking at. Even here, Target. Now, I don't know if it's going to work on Target here, but let me just see. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Let's drag it up here. Right? Any resistance levels? No, it just freaking ignored it. Go over here to Bank of America. A trend change. No, hardly does it anything. It had a little bit sort of that, but then just falls down. Resistance right there, breakout. The oscillators are much more valuable. Like not even using technical analysis, just a little bit, but just oscillators, it just so much more. So I'm literally just going to do a few tutorials over the next few weeks of like, how do you add an anchored VWAP? How do you add this? How do you add this? How do you add this? To help you guys out. But I was trying to create a strategy off of it, but it's just so freaking useless. The one situation I thought it might work a little bit more is on heavily traded stocks that are very volatile for the day. And those are the type of stocks where you go over to FinViz and you go over here and you see how they have a list of like the top highest moving stocks like CH&R. Because I even went over to ChatGPT and I was like, hey, this doesn't seem to be working on Bitcoin. It doesn't seem to be working on Nvidia or Target or whatever I was using it for. And so I was like, what examples would you say that this might work a little bit better? And ChatGPT said, hey, based off of the data that I know from looking on all these websites, it seems like the very volatile stocks it'll do well on. So I went over here and I checked in CH&R. Okay. So I was like, okay, this is moving pretty well today. Is this going to be any good here? Well, let's see. No, didn't really do much here at all. This was pretty much useless. Again, if you want to trade when the momentum is on your side so you don't have to wait as long, typically in a 5-minute chart, again, this is a 5-minute chart, you're just waiting for the oscillators to all point down and all of a sudden you're holding for a little bit of time, boom, you're good. You can try to go right here, but the way it was taught in the video, again, I'm watching all these videos, it said if it breaks above this, you don't trust the following downward signal. So I was just like, well, that's a pain in the butt. On top of that, you had a change of character right here. But again, the momentum was actually going a little bit higher. See, it just wasn't it. My strategy I like more because you're looking at like different time frames, so you kind of see you can kind of zoom out a little bit. But again, this is like a one-day popper type of thing. It was just not fun to use. But anyway, oh yeah, I see even Bitcoin's going up even higher right now. Look at that. Look at that momentum carrying on. All right, what we're going to do now is just watch this video very fast. And this is, will the US follow the global shutdown? Let me take a sip of black coffee. There we go. And who doesn't like a little bud during the depression? The massive sales during winter storms. We had snow last night. Freaking wild over here. Okay, here we go. This is, again, talking about the global shutdown, global slowdown.
UK, Japan in recession. Germany's probably next.
Isn't that wild?
The US appears still to be by far the best house in any neighborhood globally, I think.
We are.
Agreed. And it's priced that way, right? You can see it. The U.S. stock market continues to handily beat most others. We could look at Japan maybe a little bit differently.
Japan's a weird, I mean, it's soaring as they go into recession.
I think when you look at the U.K. and
their
Japan,
value of the yen is going down.
Germany, it's a reminder that your policy decisions have a long tail. They're long, and these aren't happening, bad things happening. It's something that happened yesterday. The global economy is doing okay. The U.S. is doing better because it's been buoyed by deficit spending and low interest rates. The U.K., obviously, Brexit continues to be a lead weight. Japan has major demographic issues. So the U.S. will continue to do better for a while, but I think the deficit spending and the higher interest rates, they're still out there. And when you look into the second...
Okay, so you made a couple points. Deficit spending, we're spending way too much money. We've been getting away with that for quite a bit of time. It still hasn't had a massive effect. Inflation could be looking to go back up. That's still a question mark for now. Okay.
Second half of the year, you could see more.
Oh, sorry. And by the way, I do have to stop every now and again so YouTube doesn't think I'm just playing a whole video for you guys. If the stream just gets stopped because I'm playing too much, no, I did not just end the stream. It's because I was playing too much CNBC video. So that's why when you see me pause like this, I know you may be annoyed because I like to watch videos without being interrupted as well, but there's a reason behind it. So I apologize ahead of time.
I think there's a great lesson here too, and I think Steve would agree and can just jump in that what we're seeing in Japan and even the UK market has not been terrible. The stock market and the economy can oftentimes, Brian, be very, very different things, correct?
I mean, yeah, look at Japan, right? It touches all, 1989 back to, a couple days ago, it's back to its all-time high, but it's not helped the average consumer there because wages haven't kept up with inflation with the weak currency. So it's a policy decision for, it's been very good for corporations and not as good for Main Street.
Steve is
okay, you could say that for any state or any, sorry, I'm thinking of global lingo. Any country. You could think of that in any country. There's a lot of people in America struggling because of inflation.
Bad-ish news, good-ish news for markets, given what Brian just talked about in terms of fiscal and monetary policies?
The markets get The data has to tell us what happened, and the markets get to price uncertainly what is going to happen. And every thing I saw today said that Japanese number is something that was probably going to be relatively soon in the rearview mirror, and they'll return to growth. The UK, I'm not so sure about. I feel like they have structural issues. Brian, I think, was absolutely right to point to the structural demographic issues in Japan. But the UK structural issues having to do with Brexit, I think, are more persistent here. I'm not sure how they kind of work their way out of the current funk that they're in right now. I think monetary policy is doing the best job it can. Look, UK had the high inflation and no growth. We've had the high inflation and growth. That's been an incredible strength here. What I'm thinking about, Brian, I wonder if the other Brian might answer this question. The U.S. is generally one that is, Fortress USA is used in part as a moniker because the U.S. is not incredibly dependent upon the rest of the world. But the issue becomes if the rest of the world does go down in a bigger way, whether or not the U.S. can withstand that. I think.
Okay, that's the big point of this video, so we're going to be listening to that in a few seconds. Again, I just have to stop so YouTube doesn't get mad at me. A fun thing here, though, is countries make different policy changes for different reasons. Brexit was a huge thing back in 2016, ages ago now. It was finally decoupled, I think, in 2022, 2021, something like that, during the Boris Johnson era, I think. But basically here, how do I say this? They chose to have more control over having more economic stability, which was something you normally don't see all too much because they didn't want to be under the thumb of the European Union because they wanted to have more control over what happens in their country. So the people of the UK made that decision for themselves, which you normally don't see too much. Loki, okay? So he was having a little nightmare, like whimpering over there. Good. Okay, you can go back to sleep. But yeah, so that's something interesting to think about as well. We haven't made such a decision in America because, well, we don't have referendums.
I think at some point you get some cracks in the walls.
No, Steve, I think that's right. I mean, listen, you can't have China slowing and the UK slowing, Germany slowing, Japan slowing, and have nothing bad happen here. And I do think.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Is China slowing or is China imploding?
It's always hard to tell with their data. I mean, listen,
they're cutting off the flow of data. A lot of the data we used to get in their equivalent of a Bloomberg terminal it's called wind. Is now no longer available.
No longer there.
It's
How
scary.
do you know what's going on?
It's very hard to say. Although you could probably, if they were really imploding, you'd see it in some of the import data. I mean, there'd be some signs, right? It's a big economy. It can't just disappear. At least we hope not. So
well,
no,
Evergrande and Country Garden disappeared.
No doubt. And so their structural issues are coming to a head too. Again, I just want to point out our structural issues still exist, right? Our deficit spending is too high. Our interest spend on treasuries is going up. So ours will come around. I don't think we should celebrate too hard the structural issues elsewhere. I think China has a lot of things it can still do to help, but as you say, this time around, it's not as easy.
And you and your team.
All right.
How does a retailer?
Don't have to go into that. But yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. It's just been very interesting to hear about the world now going into recession, or Germany probably going into recession pretty soon, Japan in recession, UK in recession. What happens next, basically? And this year is a freaking Olympic year too, which means we could have riots during the Olympics, but I think it's in France. Ooh, France like to riot though, don't they? Like to protest, don't they? So that could be interesting to kind of look at as well. What's right here? So S&D is hella mid. I'm out. Yeah, it's definitely mid, but there was an opportunity if you wanted it. So like when you guys have long-term portfolios, you normally have a small amount of that portfolio destined for high-risk speculative plays, where you think something really could happen down the road. That would be something I put in that category. So when you're looking at stuff in that category that's going to be high risk, you are going to be a little bit more picky. It's nice to see them having a little bit of investment to try to make things a little bit better. However, it's just weird that you just can't find as much data as you want to. That's not necessarily a terrible thing because different countries have different rules as far as how often they have to provide that data and who they have to provide that data to. But I would just like to see a lot more information. Normally, you'd be looking for something called a 10K report. So there are different types of reports out there. 8Ks are kind of just going over more financial data. But 10Ks, they allow companies to put out their financial data, but they allow them to kind of specify using paragraphs and just more words, basically saying, hey, this is what happened and this is what caused this data. It is going to be a pro-company bias, don't get me wrong. However, you can see, and they'll tell you in their own words, what they're really trying to achieve. You saw a little bit of this in the S&DL report that we were talking about. See how they have these little paragraphs here? However, I am normally looking for loads of paragraphs, which I can spend probably 1 to 2 hours reading. And I know that seems like a lot. And yes, I spend a lot of time doing this. But let me show you something. So this is what you're seeing right here. You can see all these words, right? Some investment, stuff like that. Numbers, right? So a lot of stuff. Typically, I just want more, but I'm guessing just because this is a smaller market cap company, they're not going to have somebody, and the investors usually don't care so much about getting so much information. But if I go over here to something like an or actually even better, NVIDIA Investor Relations. Press release. You see this form right here? 10K form right there. 10K. They have the quarterly, annual review, proxy statement, and 10K. Well, look at that. They got everything right there. For now, let's just go over maybe a annual report. It's nice. Now, I'm not going to go into this because it's going to take too long. This is 169 pages because they do so much. But what you could do, because they all have them, if I go down enough here, bloopity bloopity blue, you see all that? You see all that? You see the beauty right there? Forward-looking statements, you see all that glory? You see this table of contents? Isn't that sexy? To me, this is absolutely beautiful, sexy, and it's one of the reasons that you kind of are looking for future gains and stuff. There are people paying a lot of money that just goes through this data, and they kind of enter all this data into the models, and then that model can say, hey, you should buy NVIDIA at this point, right? Now, I don't read all these. I did not read the NVIDIA ones over the past year or so because I've been really interested. I read the Disney one, and that's why I bought Disney. NVIDIA's kind of been going on a tear. I don't really have much NVIDIA left, and I sold it way too early. Way too early. It's embarrassing how early I sold it. However, when I go over here and I read Disney, I'm like, okay, they're finally starting to make some decisions. They're forced to make decisions because they're under attack from another investor who wants to get a board seat, basically. I was like, okay, well, they're going to be forced to do some actions. So I was telling you guys I was loading up on Disney down here, right around August of last year. Now, I did go down a little bit lower, don't get me wrong, but look at that. You buy around here, $84. Now it's up at $113. That's a solid profit. That's the type of move I'm looking for. What's the other thing I've been reading a little bit more into? Meta back in 2022. That was interesting. But when you see something that's like a well-established company, they're really low off. Their reports will tell you what's going on. Typically, towards the end of the year, you're not necessarily looking at the 10K reports, but an 8K report, you'll still see some paragraphs that you can read and kind of see what they're doing. So that's typically how I want to look at it. Google is always important to look at, things like that. But reading those reports, if you're looking for a good long-term trend change, they can help you out a lot. You just have to have the time to read them, and to be frank, I could be outside with my dog. I could be out chilling in downtown Seattle, drinking some fine whiskey flights like I was talking about. You do have to give up a couple hours every day in order to read this stuff. And come on, not everybody wants to do that, and I completely understand. Hey, Haram, happy to see you back, my man. Let me know if you have any questions. How you doing tonight? Can you look at CKB? CKB. Oh, this is like the opposite of Bitcoin right now. Did I have a really good day today as a whole? Yeah, okay, that's why. I'm like, okay, there's a reason for that. So it's having a little bit of a pullback here. I wouldn't say anything crazy. Let me go over here to the weekly chart. I just want to see if there's any resistance levels where it's getting. There it is. Rejection right there. Let's check out the hour chart. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, you started getting those warning signs way back over here at early this morning. All right. To me, this looks like a little bit more of a pullback where you could actually see it pull back even if Bitcoin continues to go higher. So what I would expect is if you do want to buy it, you might want to wait for it to come back down somewhere in this range of about 0.001, about 11 cents. I know it's at a little bit over 11 cents right now, but really from like 0.011, oh, excuse me, not 11 cents, a penny. And then you might try to buy it from there all the way down here to 0.01, about 10.5 cents basically. I wouldn't wait for it to come all the way back down here. I would in fact be looking at this 2-hour chart or even this 1-hour chart here and basically expecting it to find a low right around here, not at this level, not there, right around here, and then popping up for another move. From here, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to have something more of a breakout, like going like that. It might even consolidate going into Friday, and then later Friday night, that's when the breakout I would expect to happen. But this seems to me a good buying opportunity as far as I'm concerned at this point. It just seems like it hit a pretty decent resistance level. You're seeing massive profit, not massive, but you're seeing decent profit taking because it did have a move. And I mean, honestly, this move was 200%. It needs a little bit of a pullback here. And then from there, yeah, I'm expecting it to go a little bit higher. If it does actually start breaking down below this level, in that case, you're probably going to be a little bit more wary, and you're going to be waiting for something more of a 4-hour chart to give you more strong signs of a reversal before you start hopping in. The more difficult thing is to buy, catch a falling knife, basically, which is kind of a small knife. I would, in fact, take that opportunity because Bitcoin is looking pretty bullish, and it's already been moving up pretty well. The safe way here is to just wait for this breakout to come. Because I'm being a little bit more greedy lately because altcoins have been doing fairly well, honestly, I'm okay with taking this opportunity here. One thing that you could do, again, is just wait for the 4-hour. The 4-hour hasn't even turned negative yet, but you can definitely see we have a change of character here. We have one here and here. You could even try to time that move from like the 11-cent range as far as buying. You could try to time it with the 20 moving average in the 4-hour chart. Historically, it has a little bit of movement, a little bit. So you can try to go off of that one. For me, it's coming down pretty hard. I would expect it to have a pretty nice move. Primarily, though, going back to that 2-hour chart, no, 1-hour chart. An easier trade would be to catch the falling knife, have a day trade, double down on the breakout. It would actually increase your average. However, because it has surged so much, you could probably expect another surge coming up. The one thing that could change this, which I doubt it would, is if I go over here to coinmarketcap.com. I just want to see the market cap, so it can actually be moved. Yeah, the market cap is at 542 million. It still has a lot of room it can run up. It's not the lowest market cap out there, but I still think it's pretty darn decent, especially since you're seeing some profit taking. There's probably tons of people that have been trading this for the last few days. They're just waiting for that knife to stop falling, and then they're going to be trying to get a boost out of it and see it go higher. As you can see right here, if I just were to add these trend lines, it's breaking down out of this downward channel. That's not what you want to see happen. Doesn't matter. It'll come down. It'll find some support. From there, you're probably looking at another move up. Safer way is to just make this into a day trade, then just double down if you want to on the other end. You could buy, sell, and then buy again on the breakout. For me, I guess I'd give it a little bit more leeway and patience to buy, wait a while for it to get rejected again, come down a little bit more, then break out. But not everybody wants to do that second part. So an easy way to do that is just say, hey, buy, make a profit, wait a little bit longer, end of the profit. That way, maybe you could walk away with a guaranteed profit here, then kind of wait for the secondary boom, so you have a higher chance of having 2 good, solid trades. And there you go, Bitcoin, right there. Hey Osama, what about IMX do you want to know about? Hey Remeko, hey Michael and Loki, thoughts on the weekend price action on Bitcoin? Will it be a, I'm sorry, I can't read it, there's a heart in the way. Will it be a good scalping opportunity? Yes, primarily because of this. Let's go back over here. I just want to draw that one line on here. Okay, so Bitcoin's main job right now, as far as this week is concerned, is it really just wants to close above 52,100. If we can do that, we have a good opportunity of going up towards $55,000 over the next few days. Once we're at 55,000, there is a little bit more resistance as far as Fibonacci levels and all those hidden Gann fans and mathematical signals, if you will. But at this point, we are looking at a confirmed breakout here. We are going to be looking to try to hold that level, and that'll give us a nice, easier boost up there. Even if we do get rejected off of this, and maybe let's say we close around 51,000 or something, there still is an opportunity to go higher next week. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be a lot easier to see a lot more of people just kind of buying in blindly if we're able to hold above that. So you're going to see a lot of volatility around this line, right? Right now, we broke out above it, slammed back down, consolidation, try to attempt a reversal, got bought back up in a hurry, and now we're just trying to wait to see if we can actually grind up higher over the next few hours. But going into the weekend, though, the weekend starts off right. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you guys can. It really starts grinding right here. You could see a potential dip and then a larger move. For me, I'm hoping we have another move up here, and then towards the weekend, there'll be an attempted dip or a surge. If we're lucky, since we've been so bullish, the bulls will actually not even give the bears an opportunity to start pushing us back down. That'll give us more of a surge opportunity on Sunday. Saturday is probably going to just be a big sideways battle. But again, there's an opportunity to move higher. Right now, we're just basically trying to continue the move here. Let's go back over here. There we are. Yeah, no worries, Shane. Happy to help you out, my man. There we go. All right, so let me get out of some of these extra tabs that I have open because I do have quite a few. We don't have to watch that one very fast. Oh, we're up to $690. We're almost at $700 profit right now. So what's actually moving right now? Let me go over here. Ah, there we go. Sorry. My belt is way too tight. I took Loki for a walk, and whenever I take Loki from a walk, I make sure my belt is tight so my pants don't fall down because I can't pick up my pants and walk my dog at the same time. Now, what's been going up here over the last few minutes? Oh, Ajax is popping off here. Ajax is up $116. Bitcoin's up, of course, big time. Anything else up a lot? Oh, Front. Is Front moving up right now? What's Front doing? Front's moving a little bit higher here over the last few days. When did I buy this? Why did I buy Front? Normally I buy big dips. I bought this 12.16. Oh, I bought this on the dip way back in the day, way back over here. It's working out. What did I? Oh, it broke out above this. See this resistance level right here? It broke out above that. It was very volatile though. It got rejected off of this. You can see over here, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Anything else really doing okay today that I actually own? Clever. Like I have a lot of positions. Don't be fooled. Not all of these positions have a bunch of money in them. SLP. Is that moving up today? Oh yeah, we already talked about that. That one is moving up. I don't think we need to hash that up again, even if it's a good trade. It's just WLD. Yeah. Oh, that one's hitting a level of resistance though. Still moving up. I definitely have more money in some investments than others. OGN. OGN's up 30%. How's that one doing? Some of these trades I just took. I think a lot of times I'm not even looking at the charts primarily. I'm just looking at Bitcoin. Because when did I buy OGN? Yeah, I bought some on the 12.22. Right here, maybe something with Bitcoin. I don't know. I bought some on 1.1. right here on a reversal. And I bought some on 2.8, which is quite a while ago. 2.8 right here. Yeah, right there. There was no rhyme or reason on this one. I would think I was just topping it off. But yeah, it's moving higher a little bit. Oh, we just had a breakout 2 maybe yesterday. So actually, OGN. Does BYDFi have OGN on it? It does not. I was hoping to make a separate day trade on it. That would have been kind of fun, right? Let me search for it just in case. No, it doesn't. Ah, snap. I would have loved to do a separate day trade here. Let me I'm gonna log into my secondary trading view account. Let's go over to OGN. It's only up 1% so far. 4-hour chart. It has the opportunity to go higher, right? So why don't we do a trade on this one? So at 20x play, let's do the technical analysis on the trading view chart just for my own sanity here. Now, it did technically already start breaking out a couple days ago, so the upside is going to be pretty interesting. But if we're going off the Binance chart, which I typically prefer to do, it's on the verge of breaking out. It's on the verge. So this is still kind of a higher risk play. All the oscillators are kind of in the right direction, so why don't we do a trade on this one? I think this would be fair. Why don't we do USTD, because I don't like to buy an actual crypto. Across, let's not be crazy here. Let's do a $500 trade with a 20x leverage. Let's buy this right here very fast. All right, so as far as stop loss, I got a 4-hour chart. Let's go to the 4-hour chart here. A decent stop loss would be kind of around 16.88, 16.83. Let's just go to 16.8, I guess. And let's see what we can get out of this. So if it hits the stop loss of 0.168, we're going to lose about 84% to $21. That doesn't make sense. Did I not buy a lot here? Because if I'm losing $21 at 84%, that doesn't make sense. It should be around $160, right? Something around that route. Did I not do this properly? No, because I'm down 2% right now, and I'm only down. Let me do a quick close on this one. I'll take the loss. Hopefully that wasn't too much. $500. No, that's the right amount. 20x just might not be enough. A 20x, no, that should be more. Okay, I might have just made a fool of myself, but that's okay. Whatever. Maybe the stop loss isn't that crazy, is it? Yeah, it's a 3% stop loss, somewhere around there. 4% maybe. With the leverage, of course, is, yeah, it's more. So, okay. Let's see what happens here. Stop loss right there. And for the price target, where do we want to have a multi-day price target or a daily price target? for me, no, there's not going to be much good Fibonacci level here. I would expect it to break out here over the next few days. So let's have a little bit of a price target around 20 cents. Let's do a partial one where we get a trigger price of 0.0195. Not 0.0, 0.195. And that'd be a profit of 225% if I sold everything. Let's sell off around 25% there. Is that 25? I just can't tell. Maybe 24. That could be 25% right there, I think. And let's do that. Is that showing up right here? No, it's not going to show up as a partial. That's okay. And let's see how that goes too. Let's see how that goes. Now, if we want 100% profit, it just has to go up 5%. 5% from what we're seeing right now on the weekly chart. That's 16%. So 16%, oh, let's go back to the 19.5. So that's 11% times 20. So that's a couple 100%. That kind of matches up there. Yeah, let's keep an eye on it. Let's keep an eye on it. We're down right now, though. I'll tell you that now. We're down 0.79%. Nothing crazy, but could be a fun trade right there. Could be a really fun trade. Just because I'm trading doesn't mean you guys have to trade. I'm just going to try to have some fun with it. I don't think I've done many live trades with you guys over the past few weeks because I've been just like screaming at the computer for not following my bearish technicals. PBR has a crazy dividend for how much the economy of Brazil it backs. It's because it's just not in America. That's basically the same thing, but Brazil needs more investment, and that's a great way to get invested in the Brazilian economy. A lot of different ETFs that revolve around Brazil, it's usually going to have that in there because, again, everybody likes dividends. And right now, not every economy is as strong as the United States, so you're going to see people going into some of those defensive ones. But like here, let me just show you what I mean here. It's not as high as it was in 2008. You are seeing it at a large level of resistance. Because oil is kind of going a little bit stronger, you could see this have a breakout. How high the breakout is, I really can't tell you, but at least it looks like it's going to be doing okay. They need cheaper energy to kind of help them out in Brazil. This goes back to like Brazilian economics. Oh my God, look how much I've been smoking this. I'm so happy it didn't ash out. I'm so happy it didn't break on my hand here. Let me take off this thing. But Brazil, Latin American economy is a lot different than the American economy and many other economies around the world. Just like, every other sector or every other part of the world has its own different type of speciality. Brazil, it's a good long-term hold. Typically for this, you want to see oil on the right path, though. This is not something that most people would probably want to buy. There are better things out there, like a ZOM, Exxon, ZOM is the ticker. But, I have oil right here. Jesus. Every time I open up oil, it's always hilarious because COVID caused chaos in the market, just absolute chaos. This is the weekly chart. Oil is breaking out above the 20-week moving average. It hasn't been above the 20-week moving average since October of 2023, right? And last time we broke above the 20, we had a pretty nice move. Doesn't always match. Well, actually, right here, it doesn't always match up with a perfect move higher, but oil's been going up. Middle East war is definitely not a good thing. Shoulder, head broke down. Right now we're looking at a potential breakout here, which could be pretty nice. Which could definitely help it go a little bit higher. But again, Maybe a year-long hold, maybe. You really want to keep track of what's happening with the American economy, because if our economy starts going down, it'll affect the price of oil everywhere. And right there. All right, there we go. All right, so let's take a moment to watch another video from CNBC. This one is pretty interesting. It just kind of goes over the industrial production of what happened today. This news came out this morning. I wouldn't say it's catastrophic news, but it's just a little bit of a surprise. What do I got in my back pocket? Oh, my wallet. Take this out. I got kind of a wad of cash in there right now, so it's freaking a little bit too large. Full screen, and let's listen to this. It's only a minute and 30 seconds. I'll be stopping plenty of times throughout this video as normal, so just be forewarned.
Welcome back to Squawk on the Street. Rick Santelli here with another tranche of breaking news. Industrial production capacity utilization. January numbers. For production, we're expecting up 0.2. The actual number is down 0.1%. A revision in the rearview mirror, also weaker from up 0.1 to unchanged. Down 0.1% is the lightest month-over-month change. Going back to, wow, down 0.1. We're going to have to go back a ways to the end of last year. Now, here's an interesting number. Capacity.
That's not crazy. I don't know if he meant to 2022, but the end of last year was December. That's a month. So I think he was talking about 2022, but I could be wrong about that one.
January, expecting the number 78.8, 78.5. Which is the weakest level in almost 2.5 years. You have to go back to September of 2021. Here's the issue. Last month was honored as the worst since 2.5, since 21, but they upgraded it, which makes this month the definitive weak month. Utilization levels continue to be on the low side. And something fascinating, the Nikkei, the Japanese stock market today, closed at 38,157. If you go back to 1989, 1990, that is when the peak. So right now we're at the highest level since January of 1990. But it was December of 1989 where we made their all-time high. We're only about 750 points below that. Pay attention there. And Squawk on the Street will return.
Okay. Pretty simple. It's just showing that there is a little bit of industrial weakness happening right now. Manufacturing jobs could be on the verge of having a little bit of layoffs. We've been seeing more and more layoffs, but I think I can be pretty confident in just saying the majority of them have been around tech or office jobs. CNBC here. There we go. And no, I don't even see many layoffs today. Nope. Oh, Toast will lay off 10% of its workforce, about 550 employees, as growth slows. So, it's not necessarily bad. Again, 500 employees, so those 500 employees is bad, but, it just follows that pattern of more and more layoffs happening. What I did want to talk to you guys about, and I totally forgot about this. Have you guys seen this yet? OpenAI just revealed new software that lets you create realistic video by simply typing a descriptive sentence. I am going to pay whatever it takes to get access to this when it goes live, even if OpenAI has a plan that costs $100 a month. I will pay for this. I will be posting. I may even make a second channel just for the fun of it, okay? And I will be blasting my secondary account, or I guess this will be third account because I'm going to start doing more cigar videos. I'm going to be blasting AI content just to show you guys all the cool stuff happening here, because I've been talking to you guys about kind of expanding and going into stuff I find interesting. AI is definitely something there, but normally I've been keeping it like, hey, how can you guys use ChatGPT to fine tune your trading strategies, that type of stuff. Now this opens the door for a lot of fun stuff. Let's go over here to X very fast. Explore. It should still be trending. Clay did something stupid, I hope. Sorry, not I hope, I bet. Sora, there we go. Check out some of these AI videos. I mean, just look at that. Oh, can't have music. Sorry guys, I cannot have music on here. I'm gonna, just in case, I'm gonna turn the volume off on the sound. Isn't that awesome? Now that's not, I would actually say this is probably one of the worst ones that I've seen so far today. Look at this. There's music, but I'm turning it all off. This is all AI. This is insane. Absolutely insane. Prompt. The camera follows behind a white vintage SUV with black rooftops. Oops. Prompt. Reflections in the window of a train traveling through the Tokyo suburbs. Did you see that? It showed her reflection. Look at that. Look at that. It's so damn cool. It's so damn cool. We can kind of watch some of these going on right now. A drone camera circles around a beautiful historic church built on a rocky outcropping along the Amalfi coast. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Look at that. We are in a crazy moment in time. Look at all the details in the back. Look how crazy that is. It has a little ChatGPT logo on the bottom right-hand side that you guys can't see too often. A large octopus is seen resting on the bottom of an ocean floor, blending in with the sandy and rocky terrain. Right? For whatever reason, there's a crab messing around with it. But still, look at that. How could you guys have to be, and again, you know, the quality on Twitter is not doing it justice. It really is not doing it justice right now. Look at that. OpenAI saw a text video. Whenever this goes live, I will just go crazy with it. Look at this. I don't even have to read the prompts. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? That is revolutionary right there. Honestly, this is a reason to long Microsoft over NVIDIA. I know NVIDIA is a really cool thing, but I think OpenAI and Microsoft, I honestly, I've been loading up on Microsoft even though I already have a pretty large stake in it. I might be getting a little bit into over-leveraged territory, but I'm just so bullish on OpenAI, I can't help. And again, Microsoft did not have some type of amazing day today. I just can't help but feel, you know, that this rally is going to be crazy. Microsoft is going to be one of my top picks for 2024, 2025. Even if we go into a recession or even if economic times turn bad, every single day I want to buy more of this because the potential is just endless. Because not just from the consumer, but the API, the ability for companies to use this for their own ends, they are going to be charged a shit ton of money. And as a shareholder, I want to have some of that money. Right now, we're just seeing the effects of higher inflation. But honestly, every day is an opportunity to buy more Microsoft as far as I'm concerned. Anything else here? A 60-year-old man cleaning the footpath to make room for his next hit-and-run victim. It doesn't always do the perfect job here, but again, you know, it's interesting. The future of porn just changed forever. You know, look at this little village or whatever. Look at that. This is like an old Western village. I can't even tell. Oh, look at this. This dude just disappeared, vanished. My head might be blocking it. You can see him vanish. Look by my head. Oh wait. Look at this guy right here. Vanished. So it's not perfect yet, but honestly, I can imagine myself using this for so many B-roll videos. Instead of paying for another service for it, I just go with this. This. Realistic close-up video of two pirate ships battling each other as they sail inside of a cup of coffee. Right? It's not the best, but it doesn't matter. The fact it's able to do that is amazing. And what you're seeing is pretty soon you could add firing cannonballs, right? That'd be even better. Look at the progress from earlier this year to now. The one from, yeah, look at this. Oh, can I show you? There you go. Right? You can see characteristics of AI with the lips and stuff like that, cheeks and whatnot. But honestly, it's absolutely beautiful. It best crypto community in the world. Oh, no, that's a scam. I mean, we're going to have a live stream where all we do is crazy prompts. We are not going to be going down the porn road, I am sorry to say. But it'll be crazy. It'll be absolutely amazing to have fun watching that. Yeah, AI video effects are amazing. I need the most expensive plan on the runway, 1K a month only. I'm fighting for more. Where do you go? Like, it's crazy. It's just absolutely insane, and I love every minute of it. I really want to take the opportunity to explore and just learn more about that. It just seems like it's going to be so much fun, right? So much fun. And hey, brainwaves, it is AI. It came from so it's ChatGPT's new sector. If you want to see the official ones, maybe I can go over here to what is Sora? Let me find one from the actual head. So this is one from OpenAI. Okay. This is all AI. You can see the characteristics that makes this AI. You can see the faults in it if you look closely. Right? Like, if I were to get rid of my head for a second, look at those two buses. The speed at which these buses are going, you'd see this bus over here on the back end crash into the one on the front end. Yeah, but it goes off camera too fast. Now, going a little bit closer, a little bit closer. These people over here vanish. Vanish behind the tree. New people are created right there. Right? So there are signals. There are signals there. This weird guy right here just sidestepping for no reason. There are the signs. But yeah, this is AI. AI right here as well. Right? Candles don't burn that fast. This one we've already seen. Probably some really freaking ugly fish if you ask me. What was the prompt for this one? A gorgeously rendered papercraft world of core. Oh, yeah, papercraft. Okay, that explains it. I was like, I don't know what the heck that means, but okay, good for it. A movie trailer featuring an adventure of the 30-year-old spaceman wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet, blue sky, salt, desert, cinematic style, shot on a 35mm film, vivid colors. Oh my god, he does have a sweater hat. I would not say this was very exciting, and there you go again, but you know, it's progress. Woolly mammoths. A little bit of issue when the feet make contact with the ground, but I think that's okay. I mean, just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. And then there we go for a few other days. This is beforehand, but yeah. It's great. I'm shocked how good it is. Honestly, I'm so shocked how good it is. Don't skip the funny ones. Oh, what do you call it? I mean, there was a few there, but I gotta be careful. If I show anything inappropriate, I have to actually fully delete this stream and just end the stream very early. I'm like, hey guys, I gotta delete this stream because YouTube may find it, and I don't want them to find it. So I have to end the stream and then delete it. It gets pretty crazy there. But anyway, I'm gonna be in the stream here. It has been a fun 2 hours with you guys today. It's been interesting. I know I wanted to show you guys one more video, but I'm gonna take Loki out to use the bathroom. I'm also gonna make some dinner here because I'm starving. I'm gonna have some hard-boiled eggs for dinner tonight. It's gonna be awesome. Doesn't seem like a lot, but I love hard-boiled eggs. Make a salad with them. But yeah, so hope you guys all had a good day. I enjoyed talking with you guys for a little bit. And yeah, there is probably going to be some issues with glitching and stuff like that, but it's the first day it's launched. I'm going to be happy to see, like, version 1.1, version 2.0, stuff like that. It'll be great. Hopefully they're not going to launch something like a Cyberpunk and we have to wait a couple years for it, but it's making great progress. I'll let you guys know when I figure out how long it's going to take me to actually get access to this stuff. And I'm excited to see how far I can go over the next few weeks, and whatever I can get access to it, I will buy it immediately. So I'll see you guys a little bit later, and thanks, Ave. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night, everybody.